Handley Page HP.28 Handcross. The Handley Page Handcross was a single-engined biplane day bomber built to an Air Ministry specification. It was not put into production, and only the 3 prototypes were built. Development. In August 1923, the Air Ministry issued Specification 26/23, which called for a day bomber powered by a Rolls-Royce Condor Roman III engine which could carry a 550 lb 250 kg bomb load with a 500-mile 800 km range. In response, Handley Page designed what was known at the time as the C/7 Handcross, but retrospectively became the HP.28 Handcross after the introduction of the familiar HP type numbers in about 1927. The Handcross was constructed from wood and fabric throughout. It was a 3-bay biplane with equal span wings without stagger or sweep. The wings had parallel chord, but the lower planes were significantly narrower than the upper. Only the lower planes carried dihedral ailerons, with back-set hinges to provide aerodynamic balance, were mounted on the upper planes alone. The wide track-divided main undercarriage had legs mounted on the wing front spar below the innermost interplane struts, braced to the fuselage. The fuselage was flat-sided with a pronounced dorsal fairing or decking and a similar ventral fairing below. The pilot sat in an open cockpit below the upper wing, with the gunner in a dorsal position behind him. The gunner could also access 2 spaces in the belly, a prone position below the pilot for bomb aiming, or a rearward firing gun position behind this. The tail surfaces were conventional, rudder and elevators being horn-balanced. The rudder reached down below the fuselage bottom, protected by a small tail skid. The V-12 water-cooled Condor engine was cooled by a radiator in the nose below the boss of the 2-bladed metal Leitner-Watts propeller. Handley Page were awarded an order for 3 prototypes, and the first of these flew at the company's Criclwyd base on 6 December 1924, piloted by Hubert Broad. After test flights there it went to RAF Martlesham Heath on 1 January 1925 for Air Ministry tests, and eventually in June for competitive trials against other manufacturers' entrants. Meanwhile, the other 2 machines had been completed, the second going to Ray Farnborough for use in an experimental radio program, and the third retained at Criclwyd. It was used to find solutions to several problems that the Martlesham flights had revealed. The original fuel tanks mounted just outboard of the innermost interplane struts and projecting both above. The exhaust pipes were modified to avoid flame dazzle and flow into the cockpit by discharging at the forward and via ram's horn exits. The ventral gun position was canvassed over, for there was such a draft through the dorsal and ventral openings that neither position was usable. The Hawker Horsley won the specification trials, so no more Handcrosses were built. The last one stayed at Criclwyd until 1926, serving as a test machine, and the second, moved from Farnborough to Martlesham, remained with the armaments trial flight until 1928. The first machine was fitted with several different wooden 2- and 4-bladed propellers for comparison with the original metal 2-bladers. Specifications. Data from Barnes and James 1987, P252 General Characteristics. Crew 2, 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 Crew. Length 40 ft0 in 12.2 m, 0.2 m, 2 mm. Wingspan 60 ft0 in 18.3 mm. Wing area 788 sq-ft 73.2 m2. Empty weight 5,215 lb 2360 kg. Gross weight 7,500 lb 3,400 kg. Power plant 1X Rolls-Royce Condor Roman III upright V-12 water-cooled 670 HP 500 kW performance. Maximum speed 120 mph 193 km/h 100 kn kn range 500 × 805 km service ceiling 19,250 ft 5,950 m armament 550 V 250 kg bomb load in port side ventral recess Wunks fixed 0.303 in 7.7 mm Vickers machine gun firing forward under pilot's control from starboard side forward decking. Wunks scarf ring mounted 0.303 in 7.7 mm Lewis gun in dorsal cockpit. Wunks 0.303 in 7.7 mm Lewis gun in ventral position.